But I think the cool part, which I want to talk about, is going to be how you can use these in React. And I won't I won't do an Angular sample. I'm not sure if I'll even do an Angular sample at DevSummit. Maybe I will. It's just that I don't use Angular too often, so I'm not very comfortable there. But let me go and show you a React sample right now. The components are released also as React elements, right, under ArcGIS Map Components React. So we have those as well. We have the 429 beta released right now, which is under the next tag. They're also under the latest for 428, but some things have changed. Okay, so what I've got here is I went ahead and I have a Vite application and it's using React. I haven't changed anything yet. Still the same setup, right? It's got the my package JSON. It hasn't been changed yet. This is the default package JSON. There's nothing in the source file yet that's set up. It's still the same app TSX, the main TSX and whatnot, right? So let's go ahead and start doing some stuff. Actually, let me go ahead and do this first. Let me do npm I. I want the React one, right? So once I install the React components, it'll install all dependencies and stuff that I need. So okay, so let's get start doing some stuff, right? So now I've installed that. Let's go into the I don't need to do anything in index HTML, I believe. So let's go in here. All right, let's come over here. It's in the app TSX. Trying to think of what I need, right? So we don't need this right now. All right, we're not going to bother with this. Let's get rid of all this. I don't know if I need use state yet. I'll figure it out. Like I said, so I know I wouldn't normally build my React app this way. I would have like a separate component that has all the map stuff in it and bring that in. But you know, I'm just demo. We're doing demo, guys. Okay, give me a break. Okay, so ArcGIS map. You can see it's actually a map element, and let's do a item ID equal to. All right. So I'm not using use state. What do I want to do here? I also need to import the CSS from ArcGIS core. So let's see if I can do this correctly. Let's see, import ArcGIS. Come on. Core, like if I can spell correctly. And it is going to be under. Am I going to get this? Am I going to get this? Esri. What happened there? Must hit escape. Come on. Themes. Dark. Oh, yeah. Am I going to make it? Main CSS. Boom. Okay, so that got picked up. All right, so now I need to update my. I don't know about the app CSS. Let's see index CSS. So I don't know this stuff. All right, so do HTML, body, and I believe it's root, right? Root, yeah, like that. I don't need font family. Okay, so I don't know what's in the app CSS. I don't like this max width nonsense. Yeah, we're just gonna make it empty. I don't think it matters if I have anything there or not. Okay, so let's do this. npm run dev, I believe, right? All right, let's cross your fingers that this is gonna work on the first try. And I don't think anything's happening. No, it's not. All right, so nothing happened. Perfect, awesome. But let's look at the elements. Let's inspect this here, right? So I've got my root, all right? That's 100%. I got my map, and that's it. Nothing's happened. There's one more step you need to do. One more step with the React components, which is very similar to what you need to do when you use the React wrappers for Calcite as well. So what you need to do here is separate this. I need to import from ArcGIS map components, not the React one. I need to go to components, dist, loader. I need to import define custom elements. There we go. Now, normally I would call define custom elements with like a window, or maybe I'd pass in like a, oh, come on, a resources URL property that would point to where all my local assets are. In this case, so I'm just going to go ahead and call define custom elements and let the default stuff take place. All right, so let's go back over here. And it went ahead and it worked. So here's my map. It's still loading. Come on. Bam, all loaded up. So oh, there, yeah, there's something on the map. I was like, is there nothing in my map? There's stuff in my map. Okay. So now it's loaded. So why do I need to do this, right? There's a couple of reasons. There's a couple of ways you can do this. This is probably the easiest way. And what I would probably do is call this in the index.ts X file, right? So when you import ArcGIS Map, you get the React element, the component. It's not going to call the custom elements.define under the hood, right? It's going to let you handle that yourself. There's a few reasons for it, some technical reasons and whatnot, but that's really pretty much all you need to know, is that you need to call this so that the components that the React element generates are going to get hydrated and do their job. Now, there's some benefits to this, and I'll talk about that in a second here. But as far as patterns go, what I would probably do is something like this. I would do this, come in the index, or sorry, the main TSX file. I'm so used to working with index files. And I would do it here before I do my create root and my render and stuff for my React. And it should still work. If I come over here, refresh. Now, the other thing I can do, another option, is you don't need to do this to find custom elements if you don't want to. This is basically going to make it so that all the elements are going to be available. As soon as a custom element gets added to the DOM, it'll get hydrated for you, because there's a bunch of lazy loading going on behind the scenes. And I'm pretty sure I explained this in the last videos I did. One thing you can do is that another option is that I can just go ahead and import, not React, but I want to go to dist components, and I can just import the map directly. And this should still work. Over here, yeah, it's going to still work. The only downside to this, if you follow this pattern, if I import like legend, if I import search, a bunch of other React components, I need to import the map components that match each one as well, right? I have to manually do that. Now, this could be a benefit if you're trying to minimize the build size as much as possible. This could be beneficial, but realistically, if you use define custom elements, it's not gonna be much, right? And the reason for that is that you're still going to get a large footprint of the build. I mean, it is the ArcGIS Maps SDK. It's always had a pretty large footprint of the build because of the dynamic loading under the hood, especially for web maps and stuff like that we do. But the map components add a little bit more to it as well too, right? But the build that you consume in your actual application isn't much bigger, because what it does is it creates all these tiny little proxy JavaScript bundles for you. And I mean tiny little bundles, right? For every component that may or may not get added to the DOM when you use define custom elements. And when they're added to the DOM, that little proxy component is going to go ahead and load the real component behind the scenes and load all that code and stuff. So it's a toss up, man. I mean, if you're really trying to like hyper optimize, and this might be the route for you, the downside here, which isn't much of a concern today with the map components, because the map components utilize the same assets as ArcGIS Core. But as soon as a lot more things start moving to map components, they're going to have their own assets, translation files, images, icons, maybe, stuff like that. You'll need to copy those assets. So you need to reference them somewhere. Now, if you want to reference them from the CDN, you need to use define custom elements, right? There's examples of this in Calcite, and I won't show them right now. But yeah, that's where the benefits going to come in. So just keep that in mind. All right, so this is a basic React application. I'm gonna try one more thing. I'm gonna make a new app. I'm gonna do a, how do I make a NextJS application? Create next app. Here we go. And we're gonna call this, gonna be a TypeScript app. I'm just gonna call this ArcGIS Next. All right. Let's go into CD ArcGIS Next, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna install again the React component. I'm hoping this will be a little easier. It's coming here too, and it's going to, oh, sorry, ArcGIS Next. Okay. Oops, no, number 1. There we go. Okay, so let's go in here and let's come to app. I'm gonna go to the page and do all this stuff. So, all right, let's get rid of everything in there. Let's get rid of padding. I don't need this. So we're going to do a lot of what we did before. We're going to, let's see. I'm going to import the CSS. So let's try this again. At ArcGIS, and I should have just copied this stuff, but you know what? I'm a glutton for punishment. So assets, Esri, themes, dark, main CSS. Now Copilot kicks in. You see that? Copilot kicked in at the very last second. Crying out loud, man. All right, so now I'm gonna need okay, I'm not gonna import anything else just yet. One thing I do need to do is that this needs to be a used client, and I'll talk about that in a second. All right, this page that loads the React out wrappers for the map components cannot be a React server component because the React wrappers still use class components, which are not supported in React server components. Something to keep in mind. It's kind of unfortunate. I kind of wish they did because it would have given me an opportunity to do a couple of things, but it just, it's not the case, right? So, all right, so let's come over here. All right, so again, we're going to get rid of the let's import it from React. Okay, so there's my element. I probably should give it a class of let's see, W screen. I think the screen will work. H screen. All right, so run my assets. I'm gonna do something right now. I can close this. All right. So brought that. All right, so let me run. Is it npm start or run dev next? Okay, so it's dev. So no errors, which is good. My main is here, and my map is here. Okay. All right, that's good. That's what I was looking for because I haven't done the define custom elements yet, right? So one benefit with that define custom elements pattern is the fact that I can do something like this. I can have a use effect in here. All right. I know you've used use effect before. I know it's bitten you before. Now I'm going to do it with an empty array. And of course, Copilot deletes my stuff. Copilot always deletes like my closing tags, right? Ooh, what was that? What was it going to do? Import ArcGIS. Oh, okay. All right. This would work, I think. Let's find out. All right. See if Copilot's any good. Copilot knows what it's doing? Copilot don't know what it's doing. Wait, I think things are still cooking. Hold on. Yeah, it's no, it's compiled. Any errors? No. There we go. Maybe H screen was a little aggressive, huh? H screen might have been a little aggressive. I might have broken something in the build overnight. So I will need to address this. It's kind of weird that the React build did this, because the regular build did not, right? See that? I only had the regular map. Anyway, let's talk about what I intended to do here, which is when this user fix happens, I am going to do an import, but not the component. I'm going to go and import. Oh, come on. Okay, so let's do this. But I'm not going to import that. I'm going to do the loader. Right, and I'm going to do a .then. And no, it's not called load. I think I can do away with this. Min H screen. I can get rid of that. And that should, like, yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, let's see here. It's building. Things are cooking. Things are happening. It's all the magic, man. All the magic. Right. Oh, no, there's my map. Right. Okay. This is actually a very cool pattern here, because and I should try this like in Remix and stuff, but it also might be useful in things like Nuxt, maybe Svelte too, like using on mount and stuff, and then view, or the view Nuxt using on mount, where you don't want to hydrate your components right away, right? You just want the elements to get created. And once the elements are created and you're ready to hydrate everything and start kicking off the whole process of loading the mapping stuff, then you can do it. And that's pretty cool that you're able to do that, right? So I think I'm going to talk about that in my session when I start talking about React stuff over here. I'm not gonna do an Angular sample, man. I think I'm gonna do a view sample instead. View sample. I'll mention Angular. Angular mention. And I'm sorry, the Angular folks out there. I just don't use it. I'm not comfortable with it. I wouldn't feel comfortable commenting on it and stuff, right? I don't even the wrapper works. I know Andy got the wrapper to work with Angular 17, but just again, I'm not comfortable with it. So, all right. So that's what I want to show. I wanted to show the React stuff today. I wanted to show the CDN stuff. If you caught the live stream, I appreciate it. Keep an eye out. I'll do a few more because I have more sessions, man. I've got. I still have this more stuff to cover on this map components one that maybe I'll do some more stuff with the session here. I've got this programming patterns, API fundamentals. I got to get stuff ready for that. So I'll do more streams on this as well. And then best practices for building apps. I'm doing that one with Randy Jones. So Randy, if you happen to be watching this, I hope I don't jack this up for you. Thanks a lot. You have a good night.